Welcome racers, this is Badgerman, and today we are going to take a look at the final race of the GT World Series Manufacturers Cup, race number 4 out of 4, the finale. You see the lobby here, all AS rated drivers, me and my trusty Mustang here, and the track is Laguna Seca 7 laps. Tires and fuel do not play a role, and let's head right into qualifying straight away because, well, home of the famous corkscrew. I love that sign, but as you will see here, I did not get very fortunate. In fact, I got very unfortunate with my pit exit. First off, I was 9th, and second, I had like 4 cars behind me. I was like, yeah, that ain't gonna work. Made a mistake here. That was a legit mistake. That was not, me trying to let other cars by. This is me letting other cars by. I'm like, nah, I don't want to be in front of 4 other drivers. Then I see this guy here. I'm thinking, he's going slowly. I'm like, okay, well, we're just going past him then, I guess. And I should have stayed behind him, I think, because he was ultimately the pole sitter. So that was a bit, well. Anyway, here's my fastest lap. Sorry for that. Here's my fastest lap into turn 1. Just before the 3, we start braking, and we round turn 1 as a double apex quite nicely. Heading into turn 2. Try to avoid the apex on the try to avoid the apex. Try to avoid the sausage curb, of course, on the inside. Turn 3, same thing, almost flat out, not with the Mustang. I think there are some cars that can actually take this flat out. The Mustang is not one of them. Heading to turn 4, tricky corner. You want to brake between the 3 and the 2, pretty much halfway. Hook it up nicely. There's a car going slowly. Thankfully, returned to the pits there. I was very, very happy that that happened. Next corner, try to go as fast as you can. Take a lot of curb on each side. Now the corkscrew. Right before the 3, we start braking. Take a lot of curb on the inside. Take a lot of curb on the exit. Thank you very much. That was a really good corkscrew there. Now, the left-hander. This was one of the trickiest corners for me. This time, I didn't fully max it out. Then here at the 2, we start diving into the penultimate corner. And then final corner, I had to brake really early with the Mustang here. Basically, on the 3 board, I had to brake already. Take it nicely. Careful on the throttle there. And we head to the line. Get a little bit of slipstream from the Swiss up in front, which I think maybe helped. P3 for now, but we'll see what that is worth at the end, and it is P7 ultimately, but only 6/10 away from the ultimate pole sitter, which was the guy behind the Italian Steve Magnus. He actually got P. Oh no, he got P2. Never mind. I talked bollocks, but still, he was on the front row. I was not. So we head into the race, and here. My worry was that I was going to start in the final corner. And it starts counting at 3 as I'm in the final corner. Thankfully, car powers out of the final corner as I get control of the car. So I was very lucky there. P8? Not quite so lucky there. You see the gap already. 2 seconds. 2 seconds at the start to the car in front. Poor P8. Poor Seb Jacques. I feel bad for him, honestly. Honestly, Polyphony need to do something about this, where, the grid at some point gets just torn apart simply because of where the starting positions is. P6 here, he was P4 at the start, Akab, completely on his own. He completely screwed that up himself. Unfortunately, I also realized, I tried to go for the move here, then I realized he's in the Subaru. I was like, yeah, that's not going to happen, is it? Because the Subaru is one of the stronger cars in Group 4. So I thought, you know what? Let's just try to stay with him as far as we can. And that didn't last all too long. Ultimately, I can spoil that a little bit because he was quite strong on pace. And he's in a very good car, so not much of a point there. He actually takes the sand there on the entry to the corkscrew. I make a mistake here, get a little bit too much curb. Car almost started spinning, thankfully caught it. And he's already a second gone, so that's how quickly that goes. There's the Subaru for you. Anyway, we're heading to the final corner. And we started in P7. We remained in P7 for the first lap, despite everything going on around us, with P8 getting a horrible start, P6 completely binning it, or P4 completely binning it, dropping to P6. We didn't actually gain anything. We're gonna skip now onto lap number 3, and look ahead what's going on there. I look back, and there's a car off. That is P6 now, Spaniard, Davios. I hope I pronounced that correctly. If not, Davios, if you're watching this, let me know how your name is pronounced. But we're going to take a look at the replay, what happened here. And you decide for yourself. DGR Magic has a half a second penalty. Justified or not, I don't know. Mac Driver, greatest name by the way, runs wide. And then Magic just barges his way through 2 drivers, hits Davios off. And Davios falls down the order to P8. And I mean, yeah, you tell me. I feel like that was a very, very harsh maneuver there from Magic, but you know, we'll see later what's gonna happen in the chat post race. Anyway, we take the position. We are in Super GT position. We're in P6 right now. And, you know, the race is getting more interesting because look what's going on ahead. P5, P4, P3, all in sight. This is where the thumbnail is from if you've clicked it. And I like to put these little Easter eggs into the replay. I don't like leaving out the scene of the thumbnail. So I feel like it's a bit of cheating, you know. It's a bit of clickbait if I leave out the scene of the thumbnail. But unfortunately, that was the closest we ever got. There was no overtaking here going on. The Spaniard in P3 got past all of them, got past both of the Frenchmen, and back to his original, in fact, one higher than his original position. He started in P4, remember? And I got a little bit of lag there. I don't know if that was on the recording or if it was only in my recording software. Hope it wasn't too bad. But yeah, we're in P6. I'm trying to get closer to the Renault up in front. Mac Driver. Again, great name, I gotta say. That's a remarkable name right there. It's halfway between Driver and MacGyver. It's perfect. Honestly, huge shout out to this guy. And he raced clean as well. You know, he made a mistake, as we saw earlier there, running onto the sand. But he raced clean. And what a guy. Anyway. We're trying to catch them. It's not really working. A cab, the guy who already binned it once, binned it again on lap 5. Well, that's a free position. We're up to P5 now. And, I mean, we take what we can get, right? We just don't reject this. We don't decline. And, yeah, I'll take P5. Thank you very much. I don't know what happened to him. I think he just lost it on his own again. He was too aggressive. Generally speaking, he was forcing too much, and it bit him in the butt twice now. He did continue and I think even finished the race, so kudos to him for not giving up. But yeah, it's a bit unlucky. Anyway, end of lap 5. And at this point, the gap to Mac Driver is just too big. It's just too much, so I thought to myself, you know what, we're going to skip first off to lap 7, and I was looking more behind than I was looking in front, and I thought, okay, let's hold P5 here, because I know that unless McDriver makes a mistake, I won't be able to get him. So let's just look back. I'm in a sandwich of 5 Frenchmen. Makes me as a German feel very uncomfortable, I have to say. And the gap is under a second now. Thankfully for me, this was the strongest part of the track for me. Compared to Seb Jacques at least, this was my strongest part. Look how the gap goes up to 1.1. Okay, back down to 1.0, but still. I gained a bit there. I gained like 2/10 just on the braking and then throughout the corner. And here I was just like, okay, let's just not bin it. 6/10, he's closing in. I'm like, okay, brake where we always brake. Was worried about a dive bomb. It didn't happen. Half a second, and we bring it up. A little wiggle there for the top 5 because I was quite happy about that. And we come home in P5. Steve Magnus was the winner ultimately. He may not have started on pole, but he was the winner. But for us, it's a P5. And I gotta say, I'm very, very happy with that. I was very relieved with that result. It was the last race of the day as well. It was the 10 p.m. race for Central European time, 9 p.m. UK. So I was very relieved to get a good result here in the end. And yeah, we're gonna see. In the end, it was 159 points for this race, which gave us 473 in total. And of course, we have to put the GG in the chat. I always like chatting a little bit at the end. And yeah, before we leave the lobby here, I forgot to save the replay. We do this, and then Paris, I will revenge. So the incident between Davios and Paris, well, Davios wasn't done. We look at the rankings in the end, and would you look at that? All the way down at the bottom, P10. I finally got a top 10 in the GT1 League on Ford. I was the 10th best Ford driver, and that was my goal at the start of the season. It won't happen every season. It happened this season, and I'm very, very relieved that I reached all of my goals for these test seasons. In the manufacturers, I got my top 10 on the manufacturer, which I did not expect to happen. And in the Nations Cup, I think I reached top 300 or even top 250, which is just remarkable considering I'm not the best driver. And maybe I shouldn't even be in GT1, I don't know. But I'll take that. I will take all of that. And I will be back with another video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see you guys for some more Gran Turismo 7. Goodbye.